Society promotes a very clear vision of entrepreneurship. It's all about making money, achieving financial freedom, and living a luxurious lifestyle. This idea is reinforced daily by influencers, social media, and even the hustle culture. But is this really the reason why God calls us to start a business? The Bible teaches that business is not just a means to get rich, but a tool to fulfill our divine purpose. When we shift from a worldly perspective to a kingdom perspective, everything changes, and our entrepreneurial journey takes on a whole new meaning. One of the biggest mistakes many people make when starting a business is seeking answers only in the world. They follow trends, listen to financial gurus, and copy successful models without first asking, God, what is your purpose for me in this business? However, true wisdom does not come from the market. It comes from the Word. Proverbs 3:5-6 instructs us, trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to Him, and He will make your paths straight. Before any business strategy, we need to align our vision with His. The Bible is filled with business principles that surpass any modern financial formula. We see figures like Joseph, who wisely managed Egypt's resources, or the virtuous woman in Proverbs 31, who invested, produced, and sold with diligence. What do all these examples have in common? They weren't just seeking profit, they were fulfilling a purpose. When you understand that your business is a mission field and not just a way to pay bills, you begin to see every decision in a new light. The world teaches that success is about how much you earn. God teaches that success is about how you use what you receive. If the focus of your business is just to make money, sooner or later, it will become empty and unsustainable. But if the goal is to serve, create value, and impact lives, prosperity will be an inevitable consequence. Matthew 6:33 reminds us, but seek first the kingdom of God and His righteousness, and all these things shall be added to you. When the kingdom is the priority, God takes care of the rest. Now the question is, how can we use entrepreneurship to transform lives and glorify God? Entrepreneurship as God's tool for transformation. God does not call us to start a business just for our own benefit, but to be instruments of transformation in the world. Entrepreneurship is, above all, an act of stewardship, managing wisely the resources, talents, and opportunities He has entrusted to us. From the very beginning, God gave work as part of humanity's purpose. Genesis 2:15 tells us that the Lord placed man in the Garden of Eden to cultivate and keep it. In other words, work and productivity have always been part of God's divine plan. When we embrace entrepreneurship with this mindset, we stop pursuing only profit and start seeing the impact we can have on people's lives. Entrepreneurship can be a powerful tool to meet needs, solve problems, and bring dignity to people. Think about the parable of the Good Samaritan, Luke 10:25-37. He didn't just show compassion, he had the resources to help the wounded man. How different would the story be if he had no money to pay for the lodging? Likewise, a well-managed business can bless families, create jobs, and support kingdom projects. When we see entrepreneurship this way, we understand that it is not just about personal growth, but about fulfilling God's calling to impact lives. The parable of the talents, Matthew 25:14-30, reinforces this responsibility. God gives us gifts and opportunities, but He expects us to multiply them. The servant who buried his talent was not punished for losing money, but for doing nothing with what he had received. In the same way, when God places a business idea, a resource, or a skill in our hands, He expects us to use it for good. This means striving for excellence, acting with diligence, and always asking, how can I use my business to serve people better and glorify God? Entrepreneurship is not just a means of survival. It is a calling to be agents of change. What you are building today has the potential to impact generations. Your product or service can solve problems affecting families, communities, and even nations. And when we do this with a heart set on God, He empowers us to go beyond what we ever imagined. But before moving forward, we need to understand something essential. How can we know if our business is truly aligned with God's plans? Aligning your business with God's purpose. Not every business is aligned with God's plans, and this is a mistake that many Christian entrepreneurs make. They start their businesses driven by personal desires without first seeking the Lord's direction. However, Proverbs 16:3 gives us a clear principle. Commit to the Lord whatever you do, and He will establish your plans. This means that before launching a product, creating a brand, or investing money, we must ask, Does this business glorify God? Does it serve people in a fair and honest way? When a business is built with this mindset, it becomes a channel for the kingdom rather than just a source of income. Aligning a business with God's plans means putting Him at the center of every decision. Instead of just following market trends or chasing growth at any cost, a Christian entrepreneur should base their business on biblical principles: integrity, justice, and service. This applies to how we treat customers and employees, how we manage finances, and even how we plan for expansion. When we seek God's kingdom first, He opens doors that the world never could, connecting us with the right people and providing unexpected resources. The most successful biblical entrepreneurs had one thing in common: they were aligned with God's will. Joseph prospered in Egypt because he remained faithful despite adversity. The virtuous woman in Proverbs 31 was an entrepreneur who knew how to invest, produce, and sell, but she did it all with wisdom and the fear of the Lord. When we understand that our business can be a ministry, we begin to see every customer as someone to serve, and every transaction as an opportunity to reflect Christ's character. If God calls us to entrepreneurship, He also gives us a purpose greater than simply making money. The question is not just what we do, but why we do it. When this alignment happens, something powerful occurs. God begins to multiply our resources. But before we talk about that, we need to understand an essential truth. Money should never be our ultimate goal. Money is a consequence, not the goal. The world teaches that business success is measured by the amount of money you make, but the Bible shows us a very different truth. Wealth is just a means, never the end goal. 1 Timothy 6:10 warns us, "For the love of money is the root of all evil." The problem is not money itself, but the idolatry of it. God has no problem blessing us financially. In fact, He desires it. But the real question is, how do we handle these resources? If we place money above God's purpose, sooner or later, we will stray from the right path. Businesses that are solely focused on profit often become empty and exhausting. However, when the focus is on serving and creating value for people, money naturally follows. Jesus taught that we should give before we receive, Luke 6:38. When we genuinely help our customers and employees, when we offer excellent service and conduct our business with honesty, God rewards us. The market may not recognize it immediately, but heaven sees every act of faithfulness. The law of sowing and reaping also applies to business. If we sow integrity, we reap credibility. If we sow excellence, we reap loyal customers. If we sow generosity, we reap abundance. This is why great Christian entrepreneurs understand that their prosperity does not come just from marketing strategies or financial intelligence, but from God's blessing on their work. When we take money out of the center and put God in His rightful place, something powerful happens. He begins to provide in ways we never imagined. Now the question is, how can we have faith to move forward even when we don't see immediate results? Faith as an essential element of entrepreneurship. Starting a business is stepping into the unknown, and that requires faith. Hebrews 11:1 defines faith as confidence in what we hope for and assurance about what we do not see. Just as Abraham left his homeland without knowing where God was leading him, a Christian entrepreneur must trust that God is in control, even when the numbers don't make sense or when the challenges seem overwhelming. Many entrepreneurs make the mistake of relying solely on their own understanding and forgetting that God is the true owner of everything. Proverbs 3:5-6 teaches us not to lean on our own intelligence, but to trust in the Lord. This means that sometimes the right decisions won't be the most obvious ones. There will be moments when God asks you to walk away from a lucrative deal because it compromises your values. Other times, He will open unexpected doors just to show that He is the one who sustains your business. Faith also teaches us patience in the process. Many people give up too soon because they expect instant results. However, every great enterprise goes through a season of planting before the harvest. A farmer doesn't see the fruits on the first day, but he continues watering the seeds because he trusts the process. The same applies to business. God calls us to persevere, even when we don't see immediate outcomes. Entrepreneurship with faith means understanding that God leads us every step of the way. He gives us creativity to innovate, strategies to grow, and strength to keep going. But does this mindset really make a difference in practice? Let's see how this vision transforms a business in real life, a testimony of transformation. When we put God at the center. Nothing proves God's faithfulness more than real-life testimonies. Many entrepreneurs start their businesses purely for financial reasons, but their lives are transformed when they realize they are part of a greater mission. The Bible teaches us in Psalm 37:5, "Commit your way to the Lord. Trust in Him, and He will do this." When we surrender our businesses to God, He moves in supernatural ways. There are countless cases of Christian entrepreneurs who saw their companies completely shift once they made God the CEO. Some started praying before every decision, others committed a portion of their profits to the kingdom, and others simply decided to run their businesses with total integrity. In every case, the results were the same: growth, peace, and a renewed sense of purpose. The transformation is not just financial, it's emotional and spiritual. Entrepreneurs who once lived anxious and overwhelmed began to experience peace, knowing they didn't have to carry everything alone. Those who used to chase money realized that serving was far more rewarding. What changed? Their hearts became aligned with God's heart. If you haven't experienced this transformation yet, maybe it's time to take that step. And that leads us to our final point: the challenges and rewards of building a business with God. Challenges and rewards in Christian entrepreneurship. No successful journey is free of challenges, and Christian entrepreneurship is no exception. There will be moments of scarcity, difficult decisions, and seasons of uncertainty. But unlike the world, a Christian does not face these challenges alone. Isaiah 41:10 reminds us, "Do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand." Every obstacle along the way is an opportunity for growth. Financial struggles teach us stewardship and dependence on God. Competition teaches us innovation. Rejection teaches us resilience. True success is not just measured by the money we make, but by the spiritual maturity we gain in the process. The greatest reward of building a business with God is knowing that your work aligns with an eternal purpose. You are not just selling a product or service, you are impacting lives, bringing transformation and fulfilling your calling. And this is the true definition of prosperity, living for something greater than yourself. But now comes the real question. How can you take the first step toward transforming your business into an enterprise guided by God? Now that you understand God's vision for entrepreneurship, the question is, what should you do next? The answer is simple but profound. Make a decision. Proverbs 16:9 teaches us, "In their hearts, humans plan their course, but the Lord establishes their steps." This means that your part is to act while God opens the right doors. If you already have a business, ask God to realign your vision and place His purpose at the center. If you haven't started yet, ask yourself, "Lord, what problem can my business solve? How can I better serve people?" One of the most powerful ways to begin this transformation is to seek wisdom. Study the scriptures, read books on entrepreneurship with biblical principles, and connect with Christian entrepreneurs who share this vision. For lack of guidance, a nation falls, but victory is won through many advisors. Proverbs 11:14. Don't try to walk this path alone. God places people around us to strengthen, teach, and help us grow. Knowledge, when applied with discernment, can unlock the next level of your business calling. Another practical step is to start praying over your business daily. Bring your challenges, doubts, and plans before God. Ask for wisdom in every decision and confidence in times of uncertainty. Philippians 4:6 instructs us, "Do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation by prayer and petition with thanksgiving, present your requests to God." God cares about every detail of your business, and when you put Him at the center, He takes care of directing your steps. Write in the comments, "All my businesses will serve God." Now it's your turn. The knowledge you've received cannot just be more information. It must turn into action. So I ask you, are you ready to build your business God's way? Are you willing to place your enterprise in His hands and trust the process? If so, leave a comment sharing your biggest challenge or decision right now. And don't forget, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you can continue this journey of spiritual and financial growth. See you in the next video.